is a flat, gorgeous evening in downtown Denver. The flowers are still in full bloom. As the sun begins to set on a Monday night, the Rockies getting ready to play baseball against the San Diego Padres. Final three home games of 2011. And the Rockies have played very well, not only this year, but over the recent past against the Padres. They're 3-3 at home, but 6-3 this year at Petco Park against the Padres. Welcome, everybody. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. Kevin Millwood will take the baseball this evening against San Diego. He's had a great record in his career against San Diego. You start to look at Kevin Millwood's resume. He's 36, and you say, wow, this guy's had a heck of a career.
Well, he's had a great career, and I think, too, when you start to look the next year for the Colorado Rockies, you have to look at Kevin Millwood based on what he's done here. Now, you're seeing career numbers against the Padres. 16 starts, 8-1, 284 earned run average. And, and I sat in the locker room the other day, and I said, tell me who was the biggest influence. He goes, Maddox. I mean, it was a quick answer. He said, I always wanted to work away to hitters, and then I could come in up into the strike zone. But he said the key to me was having command of my fastball. When I had that, things were good. Wins, 8th, lead starts, 4th innings. This is all active, folks, with people. Games completed, he's tied for 11th. I mean, everything he does, to me, really signifies he needs to be in a Rockies rotation next year, in my opinion, because of what he brings, not on the field so much, but what he does in the locker room, too, for people to watch.
You know what? He's tremendous. We've gotten to know him a little bit over the last month. He's a wonderful guy, and you're right. He can put his arm around a young guy and say, hey, it's okay.
Well, if you don't listen, you ought to be slapped. I mean, this guy's got 14 years in the big leagues, a lot of wins in the big leagues. He's played on winners. He's thrown no-hitters. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. So Kevin Millwood will take the baseball tonight against San Diego. When we come back, we'll give you an injury update. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of them to big names for the Rockies over the last couple of weeks.
In the bullpen as he gets set to come out and take the hill for the Colorado Rockies as Millwood looks for his 4th win in a Rockies uniform. However, he will not have the help of Troy Tulowitzki behind him defensively. Tulo still dealing with that bursitis in his left hip. However, he is getting closer to getting back on the field. Welcome down field level, everybody. I'm Alana Rizzo. Troy Tulowitzki did take batting practice today with his teammates on the field, as well as participated in the rest of his baseball routine that he normally does. He is closer and closer to getting back, and that's exactly where he wants to be. Earlier today, I asked Tulo about what the hardest thing is about sitting out.
Us getting our butts kicked. Even though we're out of it, you still take pride in finishing the season strong, and lately hasn't been good, so that's been the toughest thing to watch.
There is a chance we will see Tulo back in this Padres series. He still is day-to-day, but he told me he's ready to come back. He's getting much closer. As far as Carlos Gonzalez is concerned, he did shag balls today in the outfield, but did not swing the bat. He still has that brace on his right wrist. He is further away than Tulo for coming back. Todd Helton is close as well. He took BP on the field today and participated in baseball activity as well. So hopefully we will see all 3 of them back on the field soon. Coming up here after the break, we have Game 1 between the San Diego Padres and your Colorado Rockies as we rock the Padres next on Root Sports. Stay with us.
Sports is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By the Ford Super Duty, built stronger, tougher, better, built Ford tough. Ford Super Duty, drive one. By CenturyLink, Quest is now CenturyLink. Your link begins here. Find out more at CenturyLink.com. By Jack in the Box, for a limited time, Jack's Really Big Chicken Sandwich Combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. Temperature reached the mid-80s in Denver today as you look over at the Auraria campus in the Tivoli. And here's Kevin Millwood making the march to the mound. He has done that quite frequently in his long career. 162 victories. And as you saw a few moments ago, he's always pitched well against the Padres. 8-1 lifetime against San Diego. Cameron Maben, when the Rockies were at Petco Park a few weeks ago, was not healthy. He is back healthy again, and he's really emerged as a very fine player this year for the Padres. Good two-way player. He plays a great center field, and he's been a lot more consistent with the bat this season. Here's the rest of Bud Black's lineup. Jason Bartlett leads the club in hits. He'll bat second. Nick Hundley is a since coming off the disabled list, has been one of the toughest outs in the league, hitting over 400 over the last month and a half. Kyle Blanksel back cleanup, then Orlando Hudson in the 5-hole, Jeremy Hermida, Aaron Cunningham in left field, a late insert, Alberto Gonzalez and Corey Lupke. Cunningham was not in the original starting lineup. He was Jesus Guzman, and Guzman was batting third in the original lineup, but he was scratched, and they had to reshuffle the lineup a little bit as you look at Millwood's numbers in a Rockies uniform.
3-2 overall as he went out to the mound today to take on the San Diego Padres. We mentioned the 8-1 record. You look at the walks, doesn't do that hardly at all. Just 6 walks in 44 innings. Impressive number for me. 33-13 against the National League West with a 3.05 earned run average.
That's impressive. And George, you combine his hits, 44 innings, 46 hits, and the 6 walks. So 50 base runners in 44 innings. So the whip is really good, which again, Millwood needs to have. You know, all pitchers would love to have a low whip, but he doesn't have that mid-90s fastball anymore.
Doesn't need to have it. He's got his control. He's got the attitude. He's able to place his pitches where he needs to throw them. And he's going to give up home runs, but solo home runs, because there's not a lot of traffic on.
Take a look at the Rockies defensively. Eric Young's in left field, Dexter's in center, Ty Wigginton again in right field. Pacheco and Tommy Field on the left side. Mark Ellis, Jason Giambi on the right side. Willeen Rosario's doing the catching. Caught 3 of the 4 ball games, I should say, against the Giants. Did not work yesterday. Chris Iannetta was behind the plate. Rockies lost all 4 against San Francisco. So here we go. The Rockies and Padres. The first pitch of the ball game poured over the outside corner. Strike 1 on Cameron Maben. Maben has swung the bat well against the Rockies. .368 average this year. One ball, 1 strike. San Diego lost to Arizona yesterday 5-1. They did take 2 of the 3 ball games at Petco against the division leaders. And that's there on the outside corner.
By the way, St. Louis over Philadelphia right now 3-1. Florida over Atlanta 4-1. That's all wild card implications big time on in the National League.
Well, the Boston-Baltimore game's wild. Baltimore led early. It's still early. It's 9-5 in the 3rd inning. Boston's lead. Just a couple of games in the wild card over the hard-charging Tampa Bay Rays. Swung on and missed. Good start for Kevin Millwood as he punches out Cameron Maben.
5 pitches, 4 for strikes, and he went right at him with an elevated fastball after working away early in the part of this ball game, or at bat I should say, with Cameron Maben. Then all of a sudden he comes inside and really ties the youngster up.
And you know, that's actually, George, the game I'm talking about is game 2. Because Boston lost to Baltimore in game 1, so it's a game and a half right now. Tampa doesn't play today. Talk about a must-win situation. This ball in the air to left. EY's got it. 2 outs. Maybe Big Papi was right. It's time to panic.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're starting to feel that way because they've had their share of injuries to their pitching staff. They've also had the share of injuries to their bats where they haven't swung it very well.
With 2 outs, Nick Hundley stepping up. Well, Nick's battled some injuries this year, and yet it has not affected his performance. In the second half, he had a scope on his elbow, and he also had an oblique strain that put him on the DL earlier, but he's hitting well over 400 in the second half. Kevin Millwood against the Padres, a solid outing. Or excuse me, against the Brewers in his last outing. 6 innings, gave up a couple runs on 4 hits.
Kept the Rockies in that game. You mentioned Nick Hundley. He's hit 406 in the second half. 406. It's not like 340. Good second half. 406. Swinging the bat.
Two 2-0 the count on Hundley. And he chops this one to short. Tommy Field will throw him out. Kevin Millwood with a very nice start. Works through the Padres cleanly in inning number 1. And the speedster will be Eric Young. He'll be leading things off. EY against the left-handed Luke. He'll be back from the right-hand side. A couple more stolen bases for EY yesterday. Here's the rest of the Southwest Airlines batting order for Jim Tracy. Dexter will bat second. Mark Ellis will bat third tonight. Then Jason Giambi, Ty Wigginton, Jordan Pacheco, Willeen Rosario, Tommy Field, and Kevin Millwood. Corey Lupke's got really good stuff.
Really good stuff, and his record unfortunately doesn't indicate at 5-9 really how good a job he has done this year. 139 strikeouts and 126 2/3 innings. The opposition hit just 217 against him. He was the 63rd pick in the draft in 2007. His road record 2-5, but an earned run average of 2.54.
So EY steps in, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. EY's 0 for 3 against Lupke. And pitch off the plate, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Rockies ended up losing yesterday 12-5. Swept in 4 games by San Francisco.
Well, they caught a hot team. San Francisco all of a sudden decided to score a whole bunch of runs while in Denver, but the Rockies didn't pitch well either, particularly yesterday.
And the count runs full. The Giants picked up 4.5 games during that 8-game winning streak. This is in the air, foul ground, right field line, and it's handled by Jeremy Hermida, 1 out. That'll bring up Dexter. Fowler had the day off yesterday. He'd been playing a lot. Skipper finally gave him a day.
Last win for Lukey came August the 16th.
Well, one of his worst professional outings, and it wasn't horrible, but it came the last time he faced the Rockies at Petco Park. The Rockies got 5 runs against him, 8 hits and 4 1/3. The shortest start of his career. His first big league start came about a year and 2 weeks ago against the Rockies. He worked out of the bullpen the first part of this year, but Bud Black's been emphatic. He said he is a starting pitcher.
Well, I think they did that out of necessity because Thatcher was hurt. They didn't have somebody they could bring up and put, and Bud wanted a left-hander in his bullpen, so that's why the youngster was down there.
Here's the 3-1 and ball 4. I've said it so many times this year, George. I'm amazed. Dexter with one of the bigger strike zones you'll find. He's almost 6'6", and yet he draws a ton of walks.
Everybody tries to throw him low down in the zone, particularly a lot of breaking balls. That's why he has learned to discipline himself enough to let those go now.
Well, a reminder that when the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies Tacos special. Mark Ellis up with 1 out and 1 on. Ellis is hitting 10 of his last 11 to the tune of 326. His average just a point under 280 in a Rockies uniform. He was scuffling with Oakland at the time of the trade. That's high, went off speed. Johnny Herrera started in that ball game at Petco that Lukey threw, so Mark's never seen Lukey. May have seen him during spring training, but he's never seen him.
Mid-season form. It's a good way to put it. Spring training, a lot of times he might be working on a changeup, may not be out, getting after it. It may have been in a B game somewhere early in the morning. Not the same pitcher you see in September, obviously.
Lukey's holding righties to a 237 average. Lefties, of which the Rockies have just one in the lineup, that's Giambi, hitting 164.
With no home runs this year against left-handers have not. Now Giambi has a home run, but that was last year.
As Bud Black looks on, we'll tell you who's playing defense for San Diego. Cunningham's in left, Maven's in center, Hermida in right field. Alberto Gonzalez making his 12th start this year at third base. Jason Bartlett and Orlando Hudson, 2 veterans up the middle. Kyle Blanks is at first base. Nick Hundley's behind the plate. Runner going. This ball's well hit to center field. Maven, who is shaded to right center, gets back and makes the catch, and Dexter will return with 2 outs.
A lot of pitches thrown here out of the strike zone. 16 total pitches. 10 have been thrown for balls so far, so be patient as a hitter. Make him throw something you can do something with.
And he's really been a pretty consistent strike thrower. 139 strikeouts, just 37 walks.
That's a big number.
That's a great ratio.
When you're thinking Giambi left on left, the thing about it, his fastball is pretty true. Talking about Lukey, it doesn't have a lot of cut and a lot of movement in on you. So it's, in a veteran guy like Giambi, it shouldn't give him too much fits on the fastball.
Inside ball 1. Seth Smith isn't in the lineup. teams have employed a shift on Smith. Normally, everybody puts a shift on Giambi, but Bartlett is still on the left side of the infield, the shortstop for San Diego.
Hudson playing over the pull, though. He's playing deep, a little deeper into the outfield. Dexter decided to take off. Obviously, Bartlett will take the throw with the positioning of their infield.
Giambi's a feel guy when it comes to his batting practice. He took a handful of swings today out on the field. Felt really good. Nodded to Carney Lansford, said, "I'm going to take it in." And obviously, Giambi with his resume and at 40 years of age, that's obviously fine. I asked Carney, I said, when you played, were you that way also? He said, yeah, if I felt like I was locked in, a couple swings into BP, he said that's all I would take. And he said, now conversely, if I didn't feel good, he goes, after BP, I'd go upstairs to the cage, I'd hit it there, I'd take flips, hit off the tee.
See, I was never a big batting practice guy. I mean, even when we hit, because they're throwing 60 miles an hour from 40 feet. That felt pretty good off the bat.
Yeah.
Well, it should. But I understand seeing the ball locked in, hands are good, everything's good.
Yeah, it's a feel thing for the hitter, but honestly, when you watch big leaguers take batting practice, every guy looks like they belong in Cooperstown, and,
sure.
it should work that way. Runner going, doesn't matter. Giambi strikes out, and we'll go to the second inning. No score. Rockies entertaining the Padres. Final 3 home games of 2011.
We make our way to the top of the second inning. You know, they say 1 is the loneliest number. Well, that number 1 can also make or break your season. When you're talking about one-run ball games, you can take a look at the list of teams that I have for you there. The Colorado Rockies are 23rd out of 30 clubs in terms of one-run games that they have won or lost, a .477 win percentage. Look at the top 4. Barring anything absolutely bananas, the Tigers, Brewers, Phillies, and Diamondbacks are pretty much going to the postseason. The San Francisco Giants, who the Colorado Rockies just faced, are still very much in the hunt. The San Diego Padres, the team the Rockies are playing tonight, dead last in one-run games. So, guys, really it has made a difference for both of these ball clubs here tonight in terms of where they are and where they potentially could be if they were able to capitalize on just getting that one more run.
Well, it make you go bananas.
Well, the Rockies struggled in one-run games last year. Big Kyle Blanks at the plate, and the Albuquerque area. He played with Jordan Pacheco growing up. travel teams. They went to different high schools. Blanks gets this question a lot. You play football? Nope. It was baseball first, second, third, fourth.
He made the right choice.
He's got a base hit to right, and Wigginton cuts it off to keep Blanks at first base. That'll bring up Orlando Hudson.
You know, you've been around a long time. I looked this up today with Kevin Millwood. Actually, Doug looked it up. I'm going to read it to you, though. Levana Hernandez, 474 career starts. That's number one among active pitchers. Wakefield, the other, at 462. You would expect that. Vasquez has 442, and Kevin Millwood is fourth with 414, including tonight. Tim Hudson is fifth at 375, so there's a pretty good separation between 4 and 5. It also tells you that Millwood pretty much went and picked the ball up every fifth day as a starter over that 14-year career.
Orlando Hudson's had a lot of success against Millwood, 7 for 17.
Hudson's kind of bounced around the last couple of years with different teams, and for me personally, I don't understand that. Pretty good second baseman, productive player, puts the ball in play, got a little bit of pop in his bat.
That's back up the middle, and he's now 8 for 18, and Blanks is going to go first to third. Remember, Blanks runs well, even though he is a large man.
Fastball running away from him. Millwood tried to kick save it, wasn't able to keep it out into the infield area, and a ball right back up the middle for a base hit.
So that'll bring up Jeremy Hermida. Orlando's got 18 stolen bases. It's a career high. That's just a San Diego philosophy now, because they're not going to hit a lot of home runs. Not only playing at Petco Park, but right now the composition of their roster is one where they have to manufacture more. So Orlando's run more than he ever has. Willeen Rosario blocks this. Rosario so far has thrown out 2 of 3 would-be base stealers. It's always a little bit more of a nuisance, George, for a catcher to throw when you have a lefty in the box.
Well, you've got that on your arm side to deal with. With the swing, everything else.
Padres lead the big leagues with 164 stolen bases. And their success rate is excellent, too. It's second in baseball, just under 80%. 2-0 on Hermida. Picked up on waivers out of the Cincinnati Reds organization on the final day of August. Played virtually the whole year at Louisville.
And has struggled, quite honestly, at the big league level this year. Not his typical type of numbers. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. He's hit under a $160 on the season at both places.
Two and one. See if Millwood gives a check to Hudson. Nope. 3-1.
What he's trying to do now, double play ball, let the run score. In other words, prevent a big inning. I don't need another base hit in a first and third type situation again. What I need to do is get a ball down on the ground or a strikeout. Now he's behind 3-1. But this is what really good pitchers, veteran guys, try to do. Let me figure out a way to get out of this inning the easiest way I can. Going to give up the run, but hopefully I can get 2 outs in the process.
And he goes slider to get to 3-2, and now Rosario calls time. Rosario, you just see how comfortable he is, George. I mean, he's a kid, he's a puppy, he's been in the big leagues for a couple of weeks, but he marches out. He's talking to a 36-year-old. He puts his arm around his back.
Well, he's learning. I mean, he's figuring out, instead of just sitting back there and making a call and shaking a lot of pitches off, which ends up taking away a little of the deception away from the hitter. Go out and ask him what he wants to do.
Hudson not going, and it's a base hit to center field. Hermida drives in blanks. 1-0 San Diego. 3 straight singles here in the second against Kevin Millwood, after he had a 1-2-3 first. Well, in all 7 of his previous starts, George, he's done a great job at limiting damage, and that's what he's going to have to do here.
Absolutely. Just what I was talking about, first and third, get a double play ball, get out of the innings, except this ball was a little bit up into the zone, and that allowed the ball to be hit in the air and allowed him to drive in a run, his 12th of the year.
Now Aaron Cunningham. Just his 17th start this year. That's outside. Back and forth this year between San Diego and Tucson.
Right guy at the plate for Millwood right now. He's only hit 154 with runners in scoring position, a 154 average, 4 for 26.
Ball and 1 strike. Tommy Field at short, Mark Ellis at second, hoping to have an opportunity here to flip a double play. Good catch in the stands. Safe Light is the place to go if you have windshield damage. Call them at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Two. The count on Aaron Cunningham. And it runs full. Not the normal ball strike split so far for Kevin Millwood. 27 pitches, 14 in the zone, 13 out of the zone. Needs to make a pitch here, and he does. Should be 2. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't a pitch you normally would associate with a ground ball, George. That pitch was above the belt.
Well, again, and the guy at the plate's not a really tall guy. It's Cunningham, but what tells you he's got a little loop in his swing too, because he came out over the top of a pitch that was elevated where he should have been able to get the ball in the air. He doesn't. Then he does a favor for Millwood. One, you throw the pitch, you get a double play ball, shorten things up a little bit, and not get out of the inning down here.
And you got Alberto Gonzalez out of the 8-hole with 2 outs. First base is open.
Tracy's not much of a guy to walk early in games.
No, normally you wouldn't do it, but yesterday we saw it.
Yeah, well, you saw that from Bruce Bochy. It was 2 days ago, actually. Walked in the first inning, second inning with a pitcher up. He advanced a guy over. Gonzalez has really struggled in the month of September. 107 average, 3 for 28.
You're late for your train, George.
I'm not a train guy.
Oh, I love trains.
Parker's a huge. My son's a tremendous train guy.
You ever gone overnight on a train?
No, I'm too hyperactive. I got to be moving around. I don't do well on trains.
Well, you can walk the train.
Well, you can, I guess. That's a double decker there.
You should take Kay.
So where's that one going?
On a trip. It's very romantic.
Where's that one going?
I don't know where it's going.
But Dougie, it's heading south. Is that where it's headed? You don't know. What are you guessing? You're rolling your eyes saying yes. It's going east, actually. What do you mean going south?
Inside 1 and 2.
He can tell us when it's going to rain. He can go survive in the forest and eat bark and berries, but he doesn't know north, south, east, and west. How does he get out of these parks he camps in?
Takes him a while. That's why he disappears for weeks at a time.
Do you tie yellow ribbons around everything when you're going in so you can find your way back out?
2 and 2. The old Tony Orlando song, George.
Tie a yellow. Yeah, we're not singing. I've heard you sing. We're not singing.
No, you should do the singing, not me.
No.
Orlando Hudson's at third, a run in, 2 outs. And this is slowly hit with a guy who runs pretty well.
He pulled up halfway down.
He did pull up a little bit. In the inning, 3 straight singles. Padres a 1-0 lead. Years of excellence. Rockies and Padres tomorrow night, and then Wednesday afternoon right here on Route. And then the Rockies will be in Houston for 4 and San Francisco for 3 to complete the 2011 schedule. Back with George Frazier and Alana Rizzo, I'm Drew Goodman. The Rockies will send Ty Wigginton to the plate to lead things off in the second against Corey Lupke. Fastball's down, ball 1. Rockies trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. 2-0. They come in 70 and 82. The Padres 65 and 88. And as you know, with 82 losses, the Rockies have guaranteed themselves a sub-500 season. It has been just maddening for that man and everybody associated with the Rockies this year.
But you know what? Here's the thing about it. I mean, you can sit down and cry about it all you want to. Do you think any of the other 29 teams feel sorry for you? No.
No, you know what you go into.
You'll fix it.
Exactly. And I know that's what Dan O'Dowd and his staff are about, and that is getting it turned around, getting it right. every season in every sport, unforeseen things are going to happen. And it's not just injuries, because everybody's going to have injuries.
I'm going to point to one thing. How about the Miami Heat last year? Spent more money than anybody, signed every superstar in America. Did they get a ring?
Strike three on Wigginton. No. But it's not only that, George. You know, they're players that you expect to perform at a certain level that have subpar seasons. You hope they bounce back. I mean, then there's always, you know, there's usually surprises on the positive side also. But you add it up right now, the Rockies not where they thought they would be. They've gotten a peek into the future here in the month of September, and you got to like what you've seen from this young man, Jordan Pacheco, up there with one out. On the ground to Orlando Hudson. 2 outs.
Well, guess what? There's all kinds of packages for next year available to you. 20, 40, full season suite packages. They're all available right now for the 2012 season. Enjoy the same suite location, opportunity to purchase postseason tickets, and a whole lot of other great things. Pick up the phone. Call the Rockies now. Reserve your suite for next year. 303-312-2444.
Here's Willeen Rosario with 2 outs and nobody on. Chatting with Carney Lansford, part of the pregame show today, and he had a lot of nice things to say about Rosario. Really impressed with how he's handled himself and also naturally his power. I mean, he is a strong kid. I think part of being able to stay at this level, George, is believing you belong. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. You got to know that you're here. And know how you're going to be able to accept it with everybody. And that's part of it. It's getting accepted.
Great points that Carney made. The difference at this level is that there's advanced scouts, where in the minor leagues, you know, if you have a hole, I mean, the word's going to get around, but it takes a little bit longer than it does at this level.
I noticed something the other day with San Francisco. When he played, he got a first pitch fastball to hit, and he didn't wait on it, and he hit a double in the gap. From that point forward, the rest of the game, he got nothing but breaking balls. And if he got a fastball that was so far out of the zone, he wouldn't fire at it. But I guess the point I'm trying to get to is he recognized Matt Cain's on the mound, and then they're going to go to some other guys. All right, they're going to throw sliders. And I got to be ready for it. So he waited on that first fastball, smoked it. It was on Saturday night, and Cain wasn't pitching. But all of a sudden now he turns around, Surkamp was. And then all of a sudden now he's getting a lot of breaking balls. And they strike him out. They're saying, you know what, till you show us you can hit it. Because in the minor leagues, folks, when they're teaching pitching, a lot of times they force guys on a 1-0 fastball. You got to throw a 1-0 fastball. You got to find a 2-0 fastball. Up here, they may spin a hook at you, a changeup. And those are adjustments he's going to have to make to it. So you saw it right there. Hundley wanted to throw the curveball, and he doesn't throw it. He throws a heater, paints it outside corner.
And his reaction was just as if he was looking for something off speed. 2 punch outs in a 1-2-3 inning for Luebke. sports, and we've got complete coverage of some of the best rivalries in the state, and we're your exclusive home for the 4A and 5A championships. We kick things off Thursday, September 29th, 7:30, as the defending state champs, the Mullen Mustangs, will take on the Bear Creek Bears. It's the best in high school football right here on Root Sports.
Boy, Mullen came back last week in big fashion.
They did.
ESPNU. Scored big.
They got a great quarterback, and Siler Miles is headed to the University of Washington. Terrific student. George, get this. He's about 6'3 and a half, 220 pounds, and he runs sub 4.4 in the
awesome.
40.
That is awesome.
Lubke at the plate. And here's the one-strike pitch from Kevin Millwood, and it's lined to right, a base hit. It's time for the Excel Energy high efficiency, and it was a great start for Kevin Millwood. He struck out Cameron Maven to begin the ball game. And then he got Jason Bartlett to hit one in the air to Eric Young. Nick Huntley bounced one to short. 1-2-3 start. It's brought to you by Excel Energy. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save energy and money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. Here's Maben for the second time. He's just 2 for his last 25 at the plate. Tommy Field will get the fourth. Well done. Takes me back to spring training, George. Tommy got an opportunity to play in a lot of A games in spring training, and everybody said he can defend at the big league level right now.
Well, it was a great experience for him, and obviously gave him a lot of trust and the ability to feel comfortable up here right now. That is an outstanding play by the youngster from the knee, and the perfect throw over to Ellis. That's the key. What a great job that was. Tommy Field is not afraid to get the uni dirty, that's for sure. Big lead by Maven. He's got 37 steals. The most he had in the minor leagues, 27.
And Millwood's just going to hold this.
That can be more disturbing to a runner than having a slide step, a quick move to first. You hold the baseball. I actually want to see him go. I want to see the challenge. Rosario's arm, his speed.
Well, he
got
a huge
jump on the pitch out too.
Yeah, he left before Millwood.
And he picked his leg up.
And he picked his leg up.
Yeah. 38 stolen bases now.
Watch here. Watch when he takes off, and Kevin still hasn't lifted a leg. He's got a step and a half now. Kevin steps off. He obviously is going to be able to hopefully pick him off. You can get a throw quick enough from Giambi to short, or if you get him in a rundown. Ground ball toward the hole, and here's Maben, cut the bag. Now he's going to turn it off. The throw by Young is offline. It skips away from Rosario, and that will allow Bartlett to go to second. So it's going to be a base hit, an RBI, and an error on Eric Young. Maben was going to shut it down. Glenn Hoffman, of course, had done his homework. He knows that Eric Young doesn't throw well, so he sent Maben, and Maben restarted. Throw skipped away from Rosario.
Let's face it, 65 and 88 overall record. Why not send him? Force the issue. You got a second baseman with a weak arm out in left field. So the ball bounces away from him. Oh, he bit the dust. The guy in the dirt got him, but when he saw the ball get away from him, Bartlett scooted on down to second base.
2-0 San Diego. Nick Huntley at the plate. That's a strike. 31st RBI for Bartlett. Padres didn't go into this season with some huge youth movement on their mind. And now the throw to Pacheco by Field, and they're going to get Bartlett. Bartlett got a little greedy. He was assuming that Field was going to try to get the out at first base and left a smidgen early, and Tommy Field, to his credit, recognized it, and he got an out. Probably, George, the only place he was going to get an out.
Yeah, you know what? I think this is an infield single. I don't think the arm strength was going to be there. He was too far over the hole to make that throw. And I think that obviously right here, and he goes, I'm not going to outrun him. But he's Pacheco never looked back to see if Bartlett was coming. He just followed the cue of what Tommy Field said.
Kyle Blanks at the plate, fouls it off.
He had a pretty good pitch out to right field, right over the top of head of Mark Ellis in his first at bat. Smoked it on a pitch down and away from him.
Blanks missed most of last year. He had Tommy John surgery.
I really had a hot August. 7 home runs, 20 RBIs. Again in September has struggled. 152, no home runs, and just 2 RBIs.
It goes off the glove of Rosario, and Hundley goes to second. That'll be a pass ball on Rosario.
Looking for a ball down and away, and when you catch somebody that's comfortable and that knows where he's going with the pitch, a lot of times as a catcher, you anticipate it's going there. You have to anticipate it's not going there. And the movement, it looked almost like he ducked away. He thought it was going to hit Banks.
It's a first pass ball on Rosario. Chris Iannetta. Here it is, the final week basically of the season, George. Chris has 7 pass balls the whole year.
Pretty good number. The Tulsa pitching staff was hard to catch. They had 126 wild pitches on the year, and the next closest team 86. That's a bunch. Big separation. 40 more wild pitches than anybody in the Texas League.
Pulled through the hole, base hit, green light for Nick Hundley. Here's the throw by EY, and safe at the plate. Moving up is Kyle Blanks, and it is 3-0 San Diego as they're taking advantage of some sloppiness on the Rockies in the fact that the runner initially was at second base on a pass ball.
Well, on the pass ball, and again, you know, thank you, Mr. Bartlett, for making a bad play on the base pass and getting thrown out at third. It could have been a little bit worse right now. Second hit for Blanks in the ball game. His 24th RBI on the season, and a pitch out over the plate. But you're right, they ran on EY's arm. It's nothing against EY. It's just the arm strength that he was born with. Not a whole lot you can do about it.
Three runs, 6 hits already for San Diego, all singles. There's a lot of guys who play the outfield who don't have real strong arms. Juan Pierre tries to make up for with a quick release. Obviously, after some surgeries later on in his career, Luis Gonzalez couldn't throw a lick. Hudson 8 for 18 against Kevin Millwood. Singled up the middle his first time. Some scouts in here tonight, George, to watch Kevin Millwood.
Well, they saw what he has done. I mean, he's very successful pitching in Pawtucket, where he won 7 games, and he's come here and kind of reinvented himself, and I don't blame him. I'd be here too.
Couple runs, 3 hits. There was a Rockies error, also a pass ball. Wood and Eric Young this inning against Corey Lupke. Tonight's minor league report is presented by Suzuki Auto's all-wheel drive lineup. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Well, Trevor Story, a high pick for the Rockies this past year, did very well for Casper. Finished at .268, hit 6 home runs, played a good shortstop, drove in 28. Christian Bergman, who played in Casper last year, this year at Tri-Cities went 7-5 with a .259 ERA. We'll look at that again in a moment after this pitch is fouled off by Tommy Field. Kyle Parker, the Rockies' #1 a year ago, showed power. 21 home runs, 95 driven in for Joe Michaluk's team. Chad Bettis, we talked a lot about him. He had a terrific year. Josh Rutledge had a terrific year in the Cal League. Kent Mathis.
Well, Nolan Arenado also had 120 RBIs there. Was just off the charts. He's at the Arizona Fall League right now.
Yep, he was as good as there was in the Cal League. And Tim Wheeler, 33 home runs.
He set a Tulsa record, franchise record, for the Tulsa Drillers. 4 minor league pitchers won double digits this year. Scahill and Tulsa. Bettis, Frazier, and Cabrera, and Modesto.
Lupke, who can pile up the strikeouts, has now struck out 4 of the last 5. Millwood went around 0-1. The Rockies, George, amazingly, and I can't believe what I'm about to say, they need to sweep this series against the Padres to finish over 500 at Coors Field.
Amazing.
And this is a place where you always write the Rockies down for 50 at least. And it has to be that way for the Rockies.
Well, it's that way for every team. If you look at every team that's in first place, New York Yankees, they've won 46 at home. They're near 50 wins. Detroit's 45, near 50. Texas, 49. 52 for Philadelphia. Milwaukee, 52. And even Arizona, 45. They're all close to winning 50 games at home. And you have to do that because of the difficulty to win on the road at different ballparks. It's hard.
And especially when the Rockies leave altitude, they have different adjustments. And then you're playing in the West, where we've talked about ad nauseum through the years. You're going to California, 3 extreme pitchers parks where the Rockies historically, other than Petco, have not played well. There's the 1-0 on EY, and that's in there 1-1. The Rockies' worst ever record at Coors Field was 38-43 in 2004, and they're sitting at 38-40 right now. And they trail 3-0 tonight, though it's very early. Shallow right center, Maben with the long strides makes the catch. We'll go to the 4th inning. The Rockies trailing 3-0, looking for their first hit. Check in again with Alana Rizzo. She has tonight's Fast Cash Sideline Report. It's brought to you by Fast Cash Gold Centers, where you'll always get 40% more for your gold. Alana, I know you're a Giants fan. The Giants are leading 14-6.
Thank you. Appreciate the update. Broncos won yesterday. Hopefully Giants get the win tonight. I want to talk a bit more about Heath Bell and Bud Black. Now, Joe Thatcher, Chase Headley, and Heath Bell, as well as Tim Stauffer, are the only current Padres that were there at the beginning of the Bud Black managerial era. Now, Heath Bell told me, as you might imagine, Bud Black has really matured as a manager since he took over in 2007. The biggest change in terms of what Heath Bell was saying is the confidence that he has shown in making decisions. He said he learned a lot from working under Mike Scioscia with the Angels. Bud Black was a very effective pitcher in his own right, guys, as you know that. And Heath Bell said the second biggest area of growth he's seen with Black is the patience he has shown with the pitchers. Now, of course, Bud Black, the 2010 National League Manager of the Year.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have the highest respect for Bud Black. He is a very, very consistent personality, much like Jim Tracy. 2-0, Jeremy Hermida at the plate against Kevin Millwood. That's in. And it's 3-0. Three and 2 on Hermida. Padres ahead 3-0. Padres have had a much better second half offensively. Millwood with a rare walk. Just the 7th walk he has allowed since coming to the Rockies. all season long. Well, there's only 10 days left. You can join us for Toyota Talk. And I know you are familiar with how it works now. Text Toyota followed by a space, and then your comments and questions to 720-720. And George, you have a topic.
Cy Young Award. I want to know who everybody thinks ought to be the Cy Young this year in the National League.
This ball's crushed to left, and Aaron Cunningham has hit it out. And it is 5-0. Fourth
multi-home run that Millwood has given up. He's given up 7 total, 4 solos.
Cunningham's second of the year.
Yeah, got a ball out over the plate. Millwood may have gone a little bit too much of the plate here, obviously, as the ball left the yard.
Five runs, 7 hits for San Diego. The Rockies, no runs, and they're without a hit so far against Corey Lubke. Cunningham getting congratulations in the Padre dugout. Before the break, the Padres averaged 3.3 runs a game. That's awful. After the break, they've averaged 4.2, which is far more respectable. Getting 18 points higher in the second half. The reason they're still well under 500 in the second half, their ERA has gone up 0.7, 3.23 in the first half, 3.93 in the second half.
Without the offense, so tough time to try and go out and score. You know, you look at that overall ERA in the National League. 3 of the top 4 teams are leading, in all of baseball. 3.51 ERA.
2-2 on Alberto Gonzalez. Pacheco, good pickup, and he'll throw to Giambi for the first out in the inning. 25-year-old Aaron Cunningham was born in Anchorage, Alaska. Really hit one to Alaska, and that ball landed right next to Crash.
Crash, remember, drop the $50,000 camera and catch the ball.
I think the camera's a little more than that. You know, Cunningham, George, came from Oakland last year in that trade for Kevin Kuzminoff. And Corey Lubke with identical base hits. He's 2 for 2, and that's where he shot the ball through his first time up. A little line drive between first and second. Right now, it's just one of those outings for Kevin Millwood. He hasn't had one of those outings yet, but he has given up a number of hits.
Jim Miller, the right-hander, getting up, starting to fire down in the Rockies bullpen. Tonight may not be his night, you know. Far and few between for Millwood. I really like what he's done for the Rockies since coming over here. Getting on a plane and
this is hit a long way, and it's gone. Went over the scoreboard. Cameron Maben, an opposite field 2-run home run, is 9th of the year, and it is 7-0 San Diego. Is this the Giants from yesterday? They bar the Padres unis?
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with that thing. I mean, that ball's up on it, a little back step leg, full swing, and a little grunt, and this ball's out of the yard. Out over the scoreboard. It's kind of like Coors Field from a while back.
It's going to be the shortest outing in a Rockies uniform for Kevin Millwood. Jim Miller will come on in the 4th inning. Rockies trailing 7-0. Jim Miller will take over for Kevin Millwood. They'll face Jason Bartlett to begin.
And you're going to get a few innings in here. This is a guy that was a closer down in Colorado Springs, so he didn't work a lot of innings. The Rockies are going to try to see what they can milk out of him here, maybe get a couple of innings out of him. And in the middle of this ball game, the Rockies trail at 7-0.
Seven runs, 6 earned on 9 hits for Kevin Millwood. Walked 1, struck out 1. 3 1/3. It happens.
Sure it does. Even the best ones get knocked around a little bit. What are you going to do? Now when they start getting knocked around like 4 out of every 5 starts.
That home run by Maben that chased Kevin Millwood, his first since August 16th. Here's the 1-2. Got him. So Bartlett is dismissed by Miller, and that'll bring up Nick Hundley.
Well, everything's been down in the zone. Why not elevate? These guys are looking at everybody else swing for the fences, so they start to come out of their shoe tops a little bit. You make a pitch, you can tie those arms and hands up and get a strikeout.
Sliders in there, strike 1 on Nick Hundley. And he reaches for one and pops it up to short right. Ellis with the angle will make the catch in foul ground. So Miller gets the final 2 outs of the 4th inning. 4 more runs for San Diego. They hit a couple of home runs in the inning. 7-0 they lead. saving for your children's college or just talking about it? Starting your child's college invest savings account when they're young helps you prepare financially for when that day arrives. And it only takes 10 minutes to get started at collegeinvest.org. Collegeinvest.org. What's your line?
How you doing? How's the game going? Not too good, is it? Maybe they can battle back. What do you think? You can wave too.
So. We hope so.
Is that your mom and your sister's embarrassing you? You can wave. That's a Rocky fan. See, he's got the 4th of July hat.
It's hard for him to smile right now, George. He's hacked off.
Well, I would be too.
Dexter Fowler, round 2 for Dexter against Corey Lubke. Lubke has allowed 1 base runner. He walked Dexter in the 1st inning. Other than that, he is not allowed a hit, and he has struck out 5. And this one has a chance to drop. Nope. Cameron Maben got there in time. What's the old line in baseball? It's a mere, was it the great Vince Scully?
Game of inches?
No, it's a mere, Doug, you'll help me out with this. It's a mere moment between your first appearance in the big leagues and in an old timers game, all-star game and an old timers game, something along those lines. The point of that being, which I butchered, but the point of it is,
yeah,
is
you
that
kind of lost me on that whole thing.
Time flies. Doug's going to help me out here. You know what I'm talking about, right? Doug,
no,
Doug and I have that mental telepathy thing going.
It might be East Coast or whatever, but I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I don't know what book you read that in or where you got it from, but I think you started making it up about halfway through.
No. You'll know as soon as Doug comes up with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, I hope
Mark
it's
Ellis.
a better explanation than what the one you threw out.
I fully admit I butchered it.
Yeah.
I can't remember every quote verbatim.
So then, like all good people, it works in the media, then you don't try to say them. Can't make up quotes.
You know what? We have a bunch of wise guys in the truck, though. They said tomorrow's Geico quote of the day is whatever the scrambled nonsense that just came out of my mouth. Oh, it's a mere moment in a man's life between the All-Star game and an old-timers game. There it is. That sound more eloquent?
Dougie.
Was that Vin?
Dougie.
It was Vin.
Dougie. You made that up. No, I think
no,
you
he
did.
Doug,
Yeah, I think
Doug,
so.
give me a fist bump. He knew where I was coming from. 2 outs, nobody on, and Giambi at the plate.
Too bad nobody else did.
Now, do you remember that quote?
No, Dougie just said, "I'm sorry, I knew where he was going."
Yeah. Well, I don't know what that says about Doug.
Well, let's take another look at this hack. There's the check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Steady diet of sliders earlier. Gets the heat here. And the innings for the Rockies hitters are going much quicker than it has been for the Padres hitters. They changed that.
Jeremy Hermida. Jim Miller got the final 2 outs of the 4th inning. In relief of Kevin Millwood. Padres have made some deals lately and loaded up on some young players, and it's bearing fruit for them at the minor league level, and that 2 of their affiliates won league titles. They ended up winning the Cal League, Lake Elsinore did, and San Antonio Missions won the Texas League this year. Their AA affiliate in San Antonio went 147.
They were loaded to the hill. You remember Kelly, the #1 draft pick a couple of years ago?
Casey Kelly, yeah.
Yep, came over in the Gonzalez trade. He was there, and he actually threw a simulated game today because they brought several of the San Antonio Missions here. It was kind of an reward for what they accomplished. And the Lake Elsinore club did not have a winning record overall for the season, but they got into the playoffs by qualifying in the second half and took care of business when they got there. Nick Schmidt out of Arkansas was a #1 draft pick. He went 2-0 in the playoffs. Jerry Sullivan out of Oral Roberts University pitched well in a couple of ball games in the playoffs. They beat Stockton. Stockton defeated Modesto. Then they went on to defeat San Jose, who won the first half and was really stacked up at San Jose. Stockton went on to beat them, and then Stockton fell 3-1.
Towering fly ball to left center field. Dexter makes the catch. Kyle Blanks is retired, and that'll bring up the O-Dog, Orlando Hudson. Time for our AT&T trivia question. Among pitchers with 15+ career starts against the Padres, who has the highest winning percentage? Orlando 1 for 2. Casey Kelly, who you're referring to, George, came in the Adrian Gonzalez deal, former first-round pick of the Red Sox. Anthony Rizzo, who's active in the dugout for San Diego, also part of that trade. Well, the trade paying off right now for Boston, because Adrian Gonzalez, if he doesn't win the American League MVP award, is going to finish in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, great trade for him. I mean, obviously, they were not going to be able to afford him here in San Diego, so they made the move. And they got back some pretty good talent for him.
I'm sure it was bittersweet for Adrian in that he grew up in the San Diego area, playing for his hometown team after coming up with Texas.
Well, you know what, though? You played a long time there, okay? You played a long time in San Diego when you start to count high school and everything else that went on there. Is San Diego, let's be realistic, were they ready to get into a World Series after last year's collapse at the end, trading away some of their bats? Did you think they could get there? I don't think anybody else in baseball thought they could get there. I thought they could be a lot more competitive than they are under Bud Black, and I think Bud probably felt the same thing. But Adrian liked to get a ring. As you get farther along in your career and you're as good as he is, you know you're going to make money. Now it comes down, I want to put a ring on my finger. That's why Kevin Millwood's still wearing a uniform. He wants a ring. You know, he wants to be able to be on a world championship team again. Bud Black wants to manage a world championship team. He was a dugout coach and pitching coach with the Angels when they won.
That's a fair ball down the right field line. And Hermida around second, picking up Glenn Hoffman, who says, come on over. And Hermida is going to beat the throw by Mark Ellis. It's a triple with 2 outs. Seen him bunch of triples lately. Kung Fu Panda had a couple over the weekend.
Shot right by Giambi. I mean, that's right down the line. You're not going to figure the play there with the velocity Miller shows. And once he hooked it into that corner, Ty Wigginton had to wait on the ball to come around to him, and then it was just Termita's speed that got him into third base.
And now Aaron Cunningham, he had the 2-run home run in his last at bat. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Up and in. Three balls and a strike. So Cunningham draws a walk. He goes to first, and that'll bring up Alberto Gonzalez. Well, it's strange looking up at that scoreboard. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Padres here in the 5th inning, and the Rockies, other than an error, have a bunch of bagels. This ball's well hit right center field. Can Dexter get there? You bet. What a tremendous running catch by Dexter Fowler. I'll say Stores Toyota moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. By McDonald's, brighten up your day with a free small premium roast coffee at McDonald's only until September 25th. And by the Courtyard by Marriott on the 16th Street Mall. Ask about our hometown sports package. Downtown Denver. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, the Rockies going to start with their first hit against Corey Lupke.
How about a knock? How about a laser? How about a line drive? How about a lenient? All those things, base hit, because the Rockies don't have one through 4 innings.
Corey Lupke has 6 punch-outs in 4 innings. Wigginton, Pacheco, and Rosario. That pitch is outside. It's 2-0. And that misses. 3-0. Base runner for the Rockies. A 1-out walk by Dexter Fowler in the 1st inning. Lupke has struck out coming into tonight 57 hitters over his last 8 starts, which covers 45 1/3. It's an average of 11.3. That's out of play. It's an average of 11.3 per 9 innings, which is the 3rd highest mark in the big leagues over that span. All right, text your comments during the game on our Toyota Talk segment. Text Toyota followed by those comments to 720-720. George wants you to sound off on who you think should win the National League Cy Young.
I already got the one
and
for
the
tomorrow.
American League. The American League.
No, just
National
National League only.
Okay.
We're not doing it. National League only. And tomorrow I've got a great one for you.
It's not a good swing, and it's 7 punch-outs. That's the 2nd time Wigginton's gone down after being ahead 3-0. So Ty having trouble picking up the baseball, and he's not alone. Lupke's doing something, George. A lot of swings and misses.
Fastball's got a lot of late run on it, and he's not repeating his position with the fastball. He's shown that he can get the slider over also.
Jordan Pacheco takes ball 1. Jordan grounded to second. Jordan had a 7-game hitting streak snapped yesterday. He was 0 for 4, was hit by a pitch. He and Juan Pierre, the only 2 Rockies ever to have a hitting streak of 7 games amidst their first 10 in the big leagues. And again, Lupke falls behind 3-0. What do you think Red Sox fans are doing now, George? Because Boston lost that first game. It's a 1.5 lead now in the wild card.
Oh, yeah.
And Boston was up 11-5 on Baltimore in game 2. And look at it now. It's 11-9 in the 7th.
Pitching staffs, you know, and you feel like there would be somewhat of a hangover because they just got through playing a 4-game series with the Tampa Bay Ball Club. And now you come into play and you say, oh, it's Baltimore, we ought to kick the rear ends. And all of a sudden you look up, you know, lose the first game and you're getting close in this one.
.92-mile-an-hour fastball fouled off.
Pacheco's giving him a run for his money. 9 pitches, looking for number 10 to be successful and break up this no-hitter.
Here's another 3-2. Good eye. That's a great at bat for Jordan Pacheco. Second base runner for Colorado. A 1-out walk in the 5th inning. AT&T trivia question. Among pitchers with 15 or more starts against San Diego, who has the highest winning percentage? Well, Kevin Millwood coming in 8-1. Of course, Kevin has the hook tonight. He went 3 1/3. He gave up the 7 runs that the Padres have. But this is a high fly ball to right field off the bat of Willeen Rosario. Hamid in the corner makes the catch. 2 gone. That'll bring up Tommy Field.
Second on that list, interesting. Vida Blue, 11-2. Roy Oswalt, 11-2. Gaylord Perry, how about that? 14-3.
When he wasn't pitching for
Ken Hill, 9-2.
Mike
Torres, 9-2.
Yeah, your old teammate. Wasn't he a teammate?
No,
yours?
we kicked him off by then.
That's why the Padres went and got Gaylord, huh?
Who has the most wins versus San Diego? Doug, this can't be right. Who is it, Drew? Most wins in the history of their pitching career with the most wins versus San Diego. If you don't get this, you're grounded. You're going to the corner.
Fernando.
Who?
Fernando Valenzuela.
No.
Yeah, no, like that's a dumb answer. Come on.
It's a stupid answer. Tom Seaver, 33-10. 33 wins. Are we kidding me?
Should have known that.
How about this?
How many did Fernando have?
He doesn't. I looked at this. I looked at this, Drew, and I was like, are you kidding me?
I remember
33 wins against one team.
I remember a game growing up, George, where, and I think it was LeRon Lee, broke up a no-hitter Seaver had with 1 or 2 outs in the 9th inning against the Padres. Doug, you remember that?
I can't. 33 wins. I'm really. That's just unbelievable. 43 decisions out of how many starts, Doug?
Chris Nelson in the on-deck circle. Escalona will be next if Tommy Field can reach here. It's 3-2 now. Three and 2 count. Pacheco at first will be moving. And Field hits a fly ball to right center field. Amita has it. And Lukey is not allowed to hit through the first 5 innings. 7-0 San Diego. Corey Lupke is going to lead things off. Jim Miller stays out there since his number didn't come up last inning offensively. Jim's got an inning and 2/3 so far. He's given up 1 hit, a triple. He's walked 1, and he has also struck out 1. He'll face Lupke, who's been a tough out. A couple singles in the ball game.
Jim Miller, nice job that he's done out there. He's been out for an inning and 2/3. He gave up the triple, worked out of that. He has a strikeout. Working this lineup now.
Kershaw or Kennedy for the Cy Young. Yeah. Jim Miller strikes out. Corey Lupke for the first out in the 6th inning. It's got to come down to Kershaw, Kennedy, and Roy Halladay, doesn't it?
Well, if you look at it, earned run average, Kershaw leads at 230. Johnny Cueto in Cincinnati is another one of those guys. And, the other guy that kind of jumps out there, and he doesn't jump out like those other guys, but where would Atlanta be without Kimbrel, and where would be Milwaukee be without Axford? Just throwing it out there. Winning percentage, Kershaw second. Home run average first for Kershaw. Day earned run average, he's 5th. Wins, he's leading the league, tied with Kennedy. Game started, none of those guys except for Halladay are in there. And innings pitched, Kershaw's 4th at 218. Shutouts, he has 2. Road earned run average, he's in the top 5. Night earned run average, he's 2.
You're talking about Kershaw,
I'm
right?
talking about Kershaw, yeah. I mean, complete games, Halladay has 8, Kershaw has 5, Lee has 6. Strikeouts, he leads the league in strikeouts. Opponent batting average against, he leads the league at 207. I mean, all the categories, he's first or second or in the top 4.
So are you?
I like Kershaw.
You like
yeah,
Kershaw?
I, really I like Kershaw to win it. Everybody thinks that the Cy Young should stop every year at Roy Halladay's house, and I agree. I mean, this guy's a great pitcher, but this year Kershaw on a bad team early in the season was able to maintain and continue to do well.
Yeah, and some would say because of the park factor that Roy Halladay's got to go out and pitch as this ball's lined to center field, and Cameron Maben's going to get to run a little bit. Can they get him at 3rd? Nope. Another triple. Maben has a triple. Jeremy Hermida has a triple tonight.
Well, he's done a little bit of everything in this ball game. He struck out to start the ball game, got on fielder shorts, a home run. Now this triple in left center field. Ball hit. Not sure Dexter picked it up off of the bat right away. I don't think you prevent the triple anyway. Deepest part of the park. You're talking about a guy that can really run at Cameron Maben.
1 out, infield in. Jason Bartlett at the plate. That'll get the run home. Maben will come home with the 8th run for the Padres tonight. Bartlett has a pair of RBIs, his 39th and 40th of the season. Going back to Halladay, this comes up with Coors Field. That's why I think Jimenez last year deserved that much more credit for pitching half of his ball games in an extreme hitters park. Well, half of the games that Roy Halladay pitches are at Citizens Bank in Philadelphia, sure. And Kershaw pitches at a great, and it's not to diminish, Kershaw's been sensational in the Rockies, and we get to see him a lot from our perch up here, and he's tremendous. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's something that a voter would weigh. The fact that Dodger Stadium is a great place to pitch.
His road ERA is 2.92.
Yep, good point. This ball's well hit to left. Young will go back and make the catch. In the inning, another run for the Padres, and Cameron Maven triple and a fly ball from Jason Bartlett. 8-0 Padres lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Down 8-0 as we make our way to the bottom of the 6th inning. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of young players being called up from the minor league level to prove that they can handle it at this level. Earlier today, I asked Jim Tracy, besides between the lines and actually playing the game of baseball, what intangibles does he need to see from these guys to know that they belong at this level?
There's a learning curve involved each and every time you make a step. These ballparks are a lot bigger. There's an extra decks on them. That plays into, let's say, a young kid is an outfielder seeing a ball go off the bat, and all of a sudden now he's looking up into a third deck of seats. There's all kinds of things that they have to be exposed to. Unrelated to anything that they've been exposed to in the past. And so you like to watch that and see how they handle that. I think in the case of several of our young kids, I think you can give them nothing but a passing grade.
They're used to pro ball, not necessarily, though, on this stage. Certainly every single one of them that are out here are basically in an audition period, Drew.
That is the case, and what a player does with their opportunity in September in the following spring training, I think it gives them a great deal of confidence, especially if they perform well in September, and understanding that September is just a short period of time, but it does expose players to this level, and I think that's what Jim Tracy was discussing.
Well, it's the
some
travel,
of the young guys he's had.
Travel, hotels, out on the road, different ballparks. How do you handle yourself in the locker room? You know, like Thomas Field, for instance, he was going to play second base the other day, and then Hector Gomez came up with back spasms. So now all of a sudden you see his versatility come out. He played third in Tulsa a little bit. So that puts a thought into their mind. Can he play the utility role for us? Because, folks, the Rockies have a shortstop. Troy Tulowitzki's going to be here a while.
3-0 on Eric Young after the line out by Chris Nelson pinch hitting. Corey Lukey is not allowed to hit with 1 out in the 6th inning. He has struck out 7. He's walked 2. And now he's walked 3.
Hey, it's hot dog night at the ballpark. That's right. September 20th with the coupon for $1 hot dog. That's all brought to you by Hebrew National. First 10,000 and a lot of giveaways in between innings also. A couple of games to go here at Coors Field. Tuesday and Wednesday day game.
Dexter fouls his pitch off 0-1. Fowler, fly ball to center field his last time up.
See, I know the Rockies don't have a hit yet. You got a young pitcher on the mound. He's at 93 pitches. If you're Bud Black and he still has a no-hitter, is it going to be 140?
Lupke to first, and the scoop by Kyle Blanks to get Dexter Fowler by less than a step. There are 2 outs. Well, George, you make a really good point. I mean, Lupke is still a young pitcher at the big league level.
Well, and he relieved. I mean, I know they sent him out for a little while, AAA, to stretch him out before they brought him back up. They let him go 3 innings, 4 innings, 6 innings, and then, you know, I just think it'd be a little rough on him with the arm. I mean, I know he'd love to have that, but hopefully I mean, they get a hit before then. You don't worry about it.
Yeah, but he's been starting since the end of June, so.
Well, but still, you're not going to let it go at 140 pitches. He's at 94 now, and he's in the 6th inning.
2 outs, and Eric Young at second base. Mark Ellis fouls this off. First time a runner has been to second base for the Rockies.
Blanks originally was going to be out in left field. Well, obviously, you can show a little bit here that played a little first base, too. Nice pick in the dirt. Real hustle play right here. Prepare yourself for the ball. And that's exactly what he did in the dirt. Picked it easily.
One ball, 1 strike. Lupke's a product of Ohio State University. He spent almost 4 full years in the minors before getting up late last year. So you're not talking about a 21 or 22-year-old kid. He's 26. He'll be 27 next off season. Had a lot of deep counts. That's why George mentioned the pitch count being so high. He's had several 3-0 counts where he came back to punch a guy out. And of course, he's walked 3 in the game. This ball's well hit center field, and it is going to get on out of here. Mark Ellis ends the no-hitter and the shutout with 1 big swing. His 6th home run of the year to make it 8-2 and to alleviate any pressure on Bud Black.
Yeah, no kidding. That discussion just ended in the dugout. How far are we going to let him go, Darren? Darren Balsley, the pitching coach. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Well, guess what? Get the bullpen up. He's given us 6 innings. Got a fastball. Ellis did right out over the middle, deepest part of the ballpark. Sent it for a ride in left center field with 2 outs and a 3-1 count.
Now Giambi. Sliders out of the zone, 1-0. Jason has struck out twice against Lupke. Hit a home run against him last year. Mark Ellis, man, hitting that ball a long way. Six home runs for Mark in a little over 60 games in a Rockies uniform.
Done a nice job at second base, too.
Oh, he's done a great job. He's made 1 error at second base since coming from Oakland. He only made 2 over in Oakland.
Well, one more look at this. Loaded up on a 3-1 fastball. He knows the young man's got a no-hitter going. It's not going to be a slider. Just get set, pull the trigger, and hit the ball hard, and that's just what he did.
Yeah, he's able to get Jason again. In the inning, a walk, and then a 2-run home run from Mark Ellis. So the Rockies are on the board in more ways than one. A long 2-run home run to break up the no-hitter by Corey Lutke. And in the top of the 7th inning, Kyle Blanks will lead off, and the Rockies have Edgmer Escalona in the ball game now. That's nice. The 92nd, very quickly, George, 92nd career home run for Mark Ellis, which is second all-time for players born in the state of South Dakota. Jason Kubel of the Twinkies has 104. Geico quote of the day. It's a mere moment. Oh, boy. And now the correct quote. The correct Geico quote of the day.
I like it. No, I want to see it. Do it again. Let me see the other one. We've already seen that. It took him an hour to have somebody look it up for him. Turn it the other way.
From a man who never takes a misstep.
I like
Vince Scully. That's one of my favorite quotes.
That one?
Not that one. It's a mere moment in a man's life between the All-Star game and the Old Timers game.
So you blew out the Geico quote early in the game, is what you're saying.
That's a fly ball to left field. Blanks retired. Miller gave the Rockies 2 2/3.
How many scouts are down there?
Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying here for a second. 2 2/3. He gave up a run on a couple of hits and also struck out a couple of hitters.
I was trying to see how many scouts are down there, so when I start throwing the Cracker Jacks out, I want to see who I can get. There's Roy Smith, Lee McPhail, Jones. Pat Jones is down there. I'm going to have some fun tonight. I got a chance.
We'll see if you can reach him. Look, there's Roy Smith.
That's Roy Smith, right? Never mind.
So this is a hard night for Roy because
Giant fan.
Circle him, Bert.
Well, it's not working. There it is. Right there's Roy. That's McPhail right here. How'd you like the colors? Not nice.
Yeah, Roy's a big New York Giant fan.
There's Pat Jones right back up there.
He's from Mount Vernon, New York. Pitched
Pat
in the
Doherty.
big leagues.
I got to say this right here. Here's Roy right here. He was a teammate of mine with the Twins. But the guy to the right there in that plaid sweater right here, Pat Doherty, worked for the Rockies for a long time as scouting director.
Wonderful man.
Still works for the Rockies. And it's one of their pro scouts now.
Orlando Hudson is thrown out. Nice play by Pacheco. 2 gone.
Drew, what are you messing with the colors over here?
No.
I think you are.
Two gone. Jeremy Hermito come up. Red Sox have countered the attack by the Orioles. They're now up in the nightcap 18-9. Somebody just hit a grand slam because it was 14-9 on my computer. And then Connor Jackson just hit a grand slam. 18-9. Can Boston hold it? 0-2. Single, a walk, and a triple for Hermida. Not this time. Escalona works a 1-2-3 7th inning. Stretch time at Coors Field. The Padres leading 8-2. Sports is brought to you by Sonic. You've got two hands for a reason. Put the kick and Coney in one and the bacon and Blue Dog in the other. They're new and only at Sonic for $1.99. By College Invest. Are you saving for college or just talking about it? By Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. And by the Colorado Lottery, Mega Millions from the Colorado Lottery. Mega jackpots every Tuesday and Friday. Ty Wigginton takes ball one from Corey Lupke. Rockies hitting in the 7th inning, trailing 8-2. This ball's lined to left field. It's knuckling. And a nice catch by Aaron Cunningham. See that ball tail at the end? It was hit hard by Wigginton.
Yeah, squared up. This is one of the hardest balls for outfielders to get to it, and all of a sudden you see that late moving tail. I mean, Cunningham's thinking, hey, I'm right in here on top of this thing. Whoa, wait a minute. Got to take off running to catch this.
Jordan Pacheco's 0 for 1 and a walk. Watch his at-bats. He has a really good idea every time he comes to the plate. He doesn't give away at-bats. Knows the strike zone very well. Two and one on Pacheco. CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Lupke 94. Kevin Millwood hit 90. Here's the 2-1. And that's on the outside corner. Another thing impressive about Pacheco, George, listen to this. 43 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. Boy, the minute I say that, huh? He goes down swinging.
You got another one.
But you get the point.
Absolutely. Well, it was that, you know, remember when Jimmy Johnson, the hitting instructor for the Rockies, we were standing around out of Salt River Fields, and it was kind of like, I think it was live BP day. And he looked at both of us and said, see the guy in the cage right now? And I knew who he was, Pacheco, because he signed the same year my son did. So I've been watching him all along and following his career. He goes, more walks and strikeouts in the minor leagues. When you have that, folks, that's impressive.
One and 0 on Willeen Rosario. Strikeout, fly ball right field, and he went around. Windshield damage, call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com. Two balls, 2 strikes. Lupke's accumulating all these strikeouts this year. He's got 9 tonight. Struck out a fair amount in the minor leagues, but not at the rate he's punching guys out.
Not here
right now.
Well, I mean, you talked about it earlier. At 139 punch-outs coming into the ball game, and only 37 walks in 126 innings.
I mean, usually you notice that pattern in the minor leagues, and then a guy who strikes a lot of guys out in the minor leagues will probably come back to earth a little bit in the big leagues. Obviously, the quality of the hitters are different, but his are actually going up. Here's the 3-2. Fouled off by Rosario. Willeen has 7 hits so far in the big leagues, and 5 have gone for extra bases. ball deep in the hole. Bartlett, nice pickup at both ends. Kyle Blanks with the scoop at first, and it's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Corey Lupke. 8-2 Padres. In the 3rd inning, the Padres would score a couple of runs. Cameron Maben comes around there. And another good slide to produce that run. In the 4th inning, the Padres started hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Aaron Cunningham hit a 2-run home run in the 4th, and then Cameron Maben went opposite field with Corey Lupke aboard. Got 7 runs pretty quickly. The Rockies finally got a hit, and it was a home run. Mark Ellis in the 6th inning broke up the no-hitter and the shutout with 1 swing with Eric Young aboard. So our look back brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Go see him on Broadway in Littleton. Here's Cunningham. And then Alberto Gonzalez. Lupke, well over 100 pitches, just got the handshakes in the dugout. Corey is one of his most impressive starts of his young career, if not the most impressive. We'll go 7 innings. Ty Wigginton looking more and more comfortable out there in right field. Getting a pat on the back from Dexter Fowler. Dex went over to help out just in case. He has fun playing, Ty Wigginton. Looks like a lumberjack, doesn't he?
Well, you know what? I think he's done everything the Rockies thought he would do with the bat with regularity in play. He's starting to swing it. Obviously 15 home runs, 46. I know he had 70-plus RBIs a year ago. The one thing he struggled at with runners in scoring position has not been that much of a fun deal for him, but he's had to play 3rd, left, right, 1st.
One and one the count on Alberto Gonzalez. One place Wiggy hasn't shown up where we thought he might on an occasion is second base.
Played a little bit of that in spring training.
Ground ball toward the hole. That's a nice play by Pacheco, and the throw's high, but Jason Giambi, the former high school basketball player, still got some hops.
Hops and a roadblock too, because I'm not sure that Gonzalez wanted to run into Giambi. Tough hop. There's the catch. There's the play. And then the ball just sailed on Pacheco. But look how high up Giambi gets it and comes down close into the baseline. And once again, Gonzalez comes up a little bit short with the full run.
2 outs. Anthony Rizzo is going to be the pinch hitter for Lukey. If you watch the actions just athletically, the footwork of Jordan Pacheco, you realize he has a lot of infield in his background, and you realize that he's a very good athlete.
That's all he played through high school and college, was shortstop and second. Never spent a day at third or first or behind the plate. Rizzo has not done anything close to what the Padres thought. You remember when they rushed him up earlier thinking, hey, this is a guy that's going to come up and put us a lot of help into this lineup. Well, it's 130, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, and went back to the minor leagues to try to sharpen his skills a little bit. He was part of that trade that sent Gonzalez to Boston. A great big bat, had a lot of success, just crushed the ball in AAA this year.
And not this time either. 1-2-3 inning for Escalona. 8-2 Padres.
Unfortunately, the Rockies down 8-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, do you guys remember MTV Cribs? I'm sure you set your DVR and your TiVo to it because I know you love that show, right? It's not American Pickers, George, but I know MTV Cribs. You go and you get your house all souped up. You're pretty cool. You make a lot of money. Well, I found the Rockies version of MTV Cribs. Jordan Pacheco, Bruce Billings, Charlie Blackmon, and Rex Brothers had a house in Colorado Springs in the mountains in a gated community that was about 6,000 square feet. Now, these are 4 young guys. Quite the bachelor pad because they had a hot tub, a pool table, a pinball machine, all kinds of stuff there. And I talked to Jordan Pacheco and Rex Brothers about it, and Rex was telling me that it was actually Jordan Pacheco's agent that found the house for them in Colorado Springs. The 4 of them lived there throughout the time that they were in AAA Colorado Springs, and then during the call-up, somebody else would live there, and they would kind of switch off and on. And Rex Brothers told me, well, it was either that or a 3-bedroom apartment, and somebody was going to have to sleep on the couch. So as you might imagine, the 4 of those guys decided to pick the Palace in the Springs. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when you're 21, 22, 23 years old, did you have a nice pad like that? Did you catch it?
Yeah, Drew caught it, but it really hurt. It really hurt. I don't want it. Here you go. It really hurt.
Nice job, Goody.
Should have thrown it back. Let me see your
barehanded.
hand. Now you're not quite as brave as you thought you were.
Barehanded. Nicely done. Anyway, a sweet pad. I hope your hand doesn't hurt too much, Goodman.
Oh, it'll be all right.
I got to bring my glove tomorrow. Tommy Fields got it.
Yeah, but here it comes. I'm moving out of the way, folks. I'm a lot smarter than this, but Goody made the snatch. I was pumped. That was a great catch.
You wanted a high five. I wanted ice for my hand.
Sammy, you're awesome.
First thing you've had in focus tonight. Nice job, Sam.
Here's Sam right here. Let me circle him. Right there he is. There's Sam.
Kuzmanov takes outside. You know what, George? I'm a fan. I can take this ball home, can't I? Give it to the kids.
Well, you take one home every day anyway. You take one out of batting practice, put it in the bag, and then you take it home with you so you can have the kids throw BP. That's what I did on my whole career. I do it all the time. You don't do that?
No.
I got to teach you some tricks. No. We don't do that. You learn very quickly you don't take balls because they get real angry about that. But yes, Drew, you caught this. You can take this home. This is a fan. Why is there Vaseline on here? Oh, just kidding.
You already got your hands on it.
There's sandpaper cuts over here. Folks, we're just kidding. So here's the quiz for you. Mississippi mud or Arkansas River mud that when they rub that up?
I'm saying Mississippi.
You're right. And do you know where it's at?
Not in Mississippi.
No, but they say Mississippi mud on there. Do you know where they get the mud from? There was a special the other day on this.
I don't know.
And it was on how do you make $1 million? Well, this guy's got a secret spot. He goes out to and when the tide goes out, he goes in with his buckets and loads it up, takes it back out, and then packages it into the cans and sells it. His grandfather started the company in New Jersey. It's a true story. Ask Doug. Doug, is that true?
You have too much time on your hands, Georgie.
No, watch a little TV. Quit throwing batting practice to yourself at night and watch a little TV.
Oh, boy. Eric Young is 0 for 2 and a walk. Ernesto Frieri has struck out the first 2 here in the 8th inning. EY struggling against the Padres this year, just 1 for 15. There's 9 punch-outs by Corey Lupke, by the way. Tied his career high. Through 119.
That was impressive. That was an impressive outing. 1 hit given up. That's the long ball.
Cunningham makes the catch, and the Rockies are done in the 8th inning. It's been all San Diego. They're up 8-2. They've out-hit the Rockies 11-1. Make the world your workplace. Padres up 8-2. They've out-hit the Rockies 11-1. Corey Lupke's the story of the ballgame. He had a no-hitter into the 6th inning. Mark Ellis broke it up with a 420-plus foot home run with a man aboard. That's the only hit he would give up. Kevin Millwood, for the first time in a Rockies uniform, struggled. He gave up 6 runs earned, 7 altogether on 9 hits. Let's check in with Tom Helmer.
Drew, we on the Toyota Postgame Show are committed to staying creative here through the final week and a half of the season. How about Jiffy Lupke? He made quick work today of the Colorado Rockies on the hill, as you just mentioned. Also, Lights Cameron action. Cameron Maben had a homer, a triple, scored 3 runs. Productive night for him as well. We'll have all the highlights into the locker room, into the clubhouse on the Toyota Postgame Show. Drew?
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Josh Renicky is going to throw the 9th inning. Speaking of Lights Cameron action, Cameron Maben is going to lead off the 9th inning for the Padres. Good work, by the way, George, for Edgemer Escalona. Face 6 hitters, got them all.
The whole bullpen's done a pretty nice job tonight. Once you look back at it, they've 4 2/3 innings, couple of hits and a run given up, and Escalona's capped that off with 2 hitless innings with a couple of strikeouts. Renicke's going to come on. He's done a nice job, folks, since putting on a Rockies uniform. He's pitched very well, commanded his fastball, which has kind of been an issue with other organizations, but not here. I remember reading an article earlier in the year where he said that the people in Toronto tried to change his arm action and lengthen it out and lengthen his stride, and he worked under everything and he couldn't find it, couldn't get it going, was sent to the minor leagues. And when he got back there, he kind of revamped and went back to his old delivery, and things fell in place. The Rockies claimed him off waivers. Got movement back on his fastball, pretty good downward plane. Velocity bounced back up again. That last fastball, 93.
Maben out in front. Well, congratulations, George, to Mariano Rivera. He got another save today. Yankees beat the Twins 6-4, and now he stands alone. Moves in front of Trevor Hoffman. 602 saves. Our friend Michael Kay on the call.
Because the greatest closer in history now.
Mariano's 602nd career save. Very humble man. 2.22 lifetime ERA. Moves in front of another tremendous player. Both of those guys, Hoffman and Rivera, headed to the Hall of Fame. Played by Jordan Pacheco, getting more comfortable at third base.
And what he has done in postseason is off the charts with Mariano Rivera. 42 saves, I believe, in postseason play. Means he's on a pretty good team, but he shut down a lot of 9th innings.
Now there's Glenn Hoffman. You know how proud of his brother he is. Trevor still working for the organization.
Well, he's the kind of guy, and Drew, you knew this even when he was 40. He'd look out in the outfield Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, and he's running. He's exercising. He's doing his band work. He's doing his sit-ups, and that's why he pitched for so long that he did. And you know, they want him around these kids. He gets dressed in spring training. He's around the younger kids on the backfield. He goes down to Lake Elsinore and spends time there with the young kids. He's going to make you better if you'll just listen.
He had enormous legs. Nice catch by Ellis on the move. 2 outs. Bartlett retired. And that'll bring up Nick Hundley. Well, Jason Giambi was teammates with Mariano Rivera for quite some time, obviously. And here's what he had to say earlier about the man known as Mo to his teammates.
The guy's lights out. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been on the field with a player that came in, you know, especially that type, would come in out of the bullpen and go, the game's over. Just knowingly, we just need to get to the 9th inning and the game's over. I don't know if there will ever be another player like that. He had the perfect closer mentality. He was almost like a samurai. Nothing really ever bothered him or rattled him, and he's an incredible human being.
High throw, but Giambi's there. Nice job by Pacheco. 1-2-3 9th inning for Josh Reneke. 8-2 San Diego. brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Braconier. For all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Braconier at 303-777-3037. Think green, think Braconier. Well, there's some friends of mine who came down from Aspen, a big school group that came down from nice town in the mountains, George, that I like to visit, and you like to go out there and hang with all your chic friends. The Gerbaz family, and there's a whole group of school kids that came down. And you know what? The folks in the mountains who live, 3-4 hours away, they have to pick and choose when they can get down to the ballpark. And I think that was great that the school did that up there before the end of the season. I know the kids were thrilled to miss school today also.
Mom, I'm going to go on this field trip, but I'm going to be home really late. Like Wednesday. We're going to go to the zoo tomorrow. We're going to look all around. You've been down to the dinosaur thing in the mountains? You've taken Gabe down there? I know Zach and Jake might not like it too
on the
much,
western slope?
Yeah. It's pretty
neat. It's been a few years, though. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dexter Fowler. Frieri in his second inning of work, and he gets a pop-up here. Right now, the Rockies have 1 hit, that 2-run home run by Mark Ellis in the 6th inning. Here is Mark Ellis. Who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies do score 7+ in a ball game, for the Rockies taco special from Taco Bell, text the keyword taco to 720-720. In the 6th inning, with 2 outs, Mark Ellis came up with Eric Young aboard. The Rockies without a hit. He hit one over the center field wall. 6th home run in a Rockies uniform. One and 2 on Mark. With Helton and Tulowitzki out on the field taking ground balls with their teammates and hitting in their respective groups today, there's a possibility we'll see those guys tomorrow. No chance yet for Carlos Gonzalez. He is still not swinging the bat.
Drew, for catching the fly ball.
Yeah, what do you have?
Here, come here. Come here.
Boy. I don't listen. It's got
I'm
that's
not
got a
stick you.
Yeah, I don't trust.
You get a glove. See, it has a glove on it. It says clean catch, and they give it to everybody. Catches a foul ball.
So I got one. It's my first.
Yeah, it's your first.
Actually, I got one a couple of years ago.
No, either nobody saw it. You just talked about it.
Well, you were
this time
the table.
They saw it.
Clean catch.
See, there you go. You're in.
I'm in the club.
Take it home.
I will. I'm gonna wear it.
Stick it on the ball and put it on your mantle. Let's turn into the replay. Deep drive back by an old play. You got it. Oh, he came up with it. We had looks of it everywhere. Now watch him. Ow! It's really hurt.
Giambi with 2 outs.
Did he get something else, Doug? Did he get another prize? T-shirt or anything? One per customer. Oh boy.
Don't we have any leather in here?
No. No, we don't. We have a hat.
We do get this question a lot. We get a foul ball about once every 3-4 years in the booth.
We do have a hat for you.
That's special. I'll give that to Doug.
Huh?
I'll give that to Doug.
Like
1 and 2 on Giambi.
Doug doesn't need that.
1-2 on Jason. And a ground ball to first. Blanks will lead Frieri. And this one is over. The Padres have defeated the Rockies 8-2. The Rockies have now lost 5 in a row. And it's their 41st loss at home, which guarantees them a losing record at Coors Field. The winning pitcher is Corey Lupke. He's now 6-9. Kevin Millwood takes the loss. Kevin is 3-3. Time for our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. And the nod goes to Corey Lupke, who had a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 6th inning. He struck out 9 Rockies tonight. He ended up going 7 innings, allowing that 1 hit. And the 9 strikeouts match a career best. Second time this year the Rockies have been 1 hit. It's the 18th time they've been 1 hit all time. Padres win at 8-2. Toyota postgame show is up next.